Hot take. Y'all ready for this?
They trusted the process too long. It's time to give up on the process. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really think he's a good fit necessarily anywhere.
All right, y'all ready for this?
Yep.
Joel Embiid has made $266 million in his salary, across his entire NBA career. But he has missed 400 of his 846 games in the regular season.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So, quick maths.
Most of those are in Denver too.
Most of those are in Denver too.
Yeah.
So he's gotten paid about half, right? So just 266 divided by 2. So he's roughly been paid $133 million to hand out Gatorades.
Yeah.
How does that feel when you go to work and you think about Joel Embiid earning that much money?
I'll do his job for half that.
Yeah, where's that kind of PTO? Seth, huh? Can we get that?
I know. Dude, I don't know, man. I feel like they're gonna trade him in the off season, right? Like or something. But his value's so low. I don't know. They're just stuck. That franchise is stuck.
No one's gonna pick that up.
I know. They have the Paul George contract, they have the Embiid contract. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, neither.
Kinda crazy.
They trusted the process too long. It's time to give up on the process.
Yeah, it's 47. He's only played 47% of his, or he's missed 47% of the games of his career. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad.
He didn't play for 2 years.
Yeah, he didn't play for 2 years, and then he played 30 games, then he played 60, then he played 60, then he played 50. Then he played 50, 68,
Okay.
66, 39, 13. Wow.
Is 13 this season?
Yeah, he's played 13 games this season.
Jeez.
And he's averaged 24 points in those, and his splits are 32 and 45, down 39, 52 from last year at 35 points a game last year.
He shouldn't have gotten that MVP. I'm just saying. I feel like almost
I believe he
everybody
got
agrees with
MVP
me.
for playing 66 games.
Yeah.
I think
That
that's
is crazy.
Isn't that the reason they implemented that rule was because of him?
Part of it, I mean, because 66 is
That's the minimum,
do
right?
some more math.
I think it's
66 out of
65 is the minimum now.
Oh.
But one game, woo.
80%. Yeah. He only participated in 80% of the season.
Yeah, how are you most valuable if you're not there 20% of the time? Like a lot of games.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I missed 80% of my work year, I would be fired so quickly. Like, what? I feel bad for him though, but
Yeah, I mean they had a win. It's like they had a window to win a championship, but they like just had too many busts that they drafted. Like the Ben Simmons didn't work out. Like they had all these draft picks when they were terrible, and like literally Embiid's the only one. Like him and Maxey are the only ones that ever did anything.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a timetable on when he comes back?
Embiid, because he's on my fantasy team because I just left him there. It says the 31st. It says in a couple of days, but who knows?
Yeah, with Embiid, he'll probably be back in like 3 days and then out for another 3 weeks.
Exactly. That's like how it goes.
We can say the Paul George experiments failed, right? Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I would do blame part of that on Embiid just being out. Like it's just like there's no experiment. Like Paul George hasn't been great, but also like there's nothing to even look at with that. Like that team's just so messed up.
Yeah.
Like anything they try, I don't know. They're kind of hopeless.
Yeah. Any good experiment has a control group, and they haven't had anything to control.
No.
Like, someone's always out, whether it's Paul George, whether it's Embiid, whether it's both at the same time.
McBain's been out now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he should have been Rookie of the Year too. I'm so
I
upset
know.
about that.
That sucks.
Yeah.
He definitely ruined someone's parlay though, for sure.
George has played in 30 games this year so far, with 17 points per game.
Yeah.
And we're at about the trade deadline, so that's terrible.
Ridiculous. Who did they sign? Who did they trade Paul George for?
I think they signed him, or was it
Yeah.
a sign and trade?
They didn't trade him. They didn't trade anyone away.
No, I think it was just a signing.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Because I
And
see
there
them
might have been.
compare him to somebody else, and they always say he's got the same stats as somebody else that went somewhere else.
DeMar in Sacramento, probably.
Mm.
The two old heads.
Tobias
Oh,
Harris.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, yeah.
Dude,
Oh.
what team is that guy on?
He's on the Pistons, and he actually has better stats than Paul
Dude.
George does. But
Dude, I
nobody
forgot. And the
talks about
Pistons
it.
are better than the 76ers.
So Paul George so Tobias Harris doesn't have better stats this year, but the year he played in Philly, this last year, he has the exact same stats with slightly better shooting splits.
No.
Yeah, Tobias Harris averaged 17.2 points per game on 49-35 splits.
Damn.
And gave you 70 games, playing 35 minutes a game.
So is Paul
Yeah.
George officially washed then? Is that what you're
So,
saying?
and
Yeah, I
Paul
think
George has played 30. I mean, granted, we're, 45 games through the season? So,
he's like pretty good still. It's just like there's nothing. I don't know. There's just no hope on that team. So
no.
once they got rid of Jimmy Butler, that was kind of the end of their
Did they get rid
real
of Jimmy
window.
Butler, or did Jimmy Butler remove
No.
himself?
Yeah, I guess Jimmy Butler moves himself. I don't know what that guy. I have no idea what's happening with him.
Yeah, that is.
He's gonna go somewhere, but like it's kind of risky at this point. He's like hated everywhere he's been. Like,
So the Sixers, no, not the Sixers. The Timberwolves, completely understandable. Definitely Jimmy's fault.
Yeah.
But I feel like here it's kind of on Pat Riley. You know what I mean? Like they didn't, like he pretty much killed himself in the 2020 playoffs.
Yeah.
Literally played every minute of the last like 4 games, and they
Yep.
still didn't really do much to build around him. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much been the same team for the last 4 years. Yeah.
He played 21 games, averaged 38 minutes per game, yeah.
I don't know what team he's gonna go to. I feel like he'd be a good fit in I don't know, some Western team, but put someone over the top. I'm not sure though who.
He's a lock for Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say he is, but I don't know.
I think Seth answered a little too quickly.
So part of it is because the Basketball Hall of Fame is just kind of easy, not easy, but like it's easier than the other ones.
Sure.
Like football is harder and baseball. So I just feel like if you make like more than 5 All-Star teams, like you have like a really good chance. And he's done more than that, like in general in his career. So I think it's more just because like it's not that hard to like if you're a star, like a lot of times you just make it.
Yeah. Yeah, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA.
Yeah.
5-time All-Defensive, and an Eastern Conference MVP. So
Actually, I might have to agree with you on that, Seth, because
it's 5.
he was drafted like during peak hours, we'll say, because you had LeBron. Pretty sure when he got drafted, LeBron was still on the Heat. Then you had Curry get into his
2011.
own, and then it just kept evolving. And then you had the Kevin Durant Warriors, and then you had the Lakers in 2020. So honestly, I might have to agree with you on that because he's had to fight through everything. And the fact he's even made 5 all defensive teams, that's pretty impressive considering the defensive menaces we have.
And he didn't look good in his first season
Nope.
at all.
Nope.
No.
I'm looking at his stats. He averaged he shot 18% from 3, and he averaged 2.6 points per game.
Yeah, he was all slow development type of guy.
Yeah, then within 3 years, he was most improved player, putting up 20 points per game. That's huge. That's hard work right there. That's what he did. He busted his buns.
That's what playing with Tibbs will do to you.
Yeah.
He didn't want to play those 20 minutes, but Tibbs was going to make sure he did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really think he's a good fit necessarily anywhere. I think wherever he goes would have to adjust around him, and I feel like most good teams at least that would be contenders for him are already pretty much set where they're at. It'd be like a whole new rebuild almost.
Yeah.
I just don't know who would want to pick up that contract, man.
I throw out Dallas.
Oh, Jimmy for Clay? I feel like that's fair trade.
Jimmy for something on Dallas. I don't know what they would trade for him or how or what picks they have, but I just feel like it'd be a good fit just because Luka and Kyrie are both like so perimeter, and then he could kind of do his mid range and like his defense, which they need a lot with that backcourt.
Be more of a 3 than Clay is, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh,
So he's making 48.8 mil a year.
that limits it, man. It's like,
That's a lot of money.
yeah.
Wait, does he make more than Jokic?
Knowing Jokic, probably, yeah. As long as he can feed
It
his
depends.
horses.
Yeah.
I think Jokic might make like 49. Might be a little above. 51. He made 47 last year.
Oh.
When you paying, I'm sorry, you paying Jimmy Butler $2 million less than Jokic.
Just like the way it's, I don't know. It's weird how like max contracts are. It's like you have to give your best player max contract no matter what. So then it's like all these guys then end up having like terrible contracts when they're older.
Like
I
Bradley
don't
Beal.
know.
Hot take. Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Jokic's contract is up 27-28. He becomes an unrestricted free agent the year of 28-29. There's a part of me that kind of thinks he might retire then.
28-29, you said?
Yep, 2029. 4 years from now.
He'd be 33.
I kind of think he just.
Maybe.
I don't know. There's a weird.
Yeah.
Hot take, he'd have a better career in the next 4 years than he would a lot of the other people in the Hall of Fame, so I can see it.
You know what I mean? Like, say they win another one, then the Nuggets go for 2 years, and he gets sick of putting up 30, 10, and 10. Just wants to go hang out with his horses. You know, he's made $300 million. He doesn't. I wouldn't be surprised. I might cry in the shower, but I wouldn't be surprised at all.
What if he joined up with Luka?
Yeah. Here's my question. So this is another one. I know it's super hypothetical, but what do you think's more likely? Jokic retires before he goes to another team, or he ends his career somewhere else?
What do I think is more likely?
That you could do so.
Yeah, more likely he ends his career in Denver, maybe early, maybe retires early, or he ends his career somewhere else.
I think it's more likely that he ends in Denver. I'm getting Dirk vibes.
Yeah. It's rare nowadays.
It is. And the Nuggets, if they traded him, would get burned down. Ball Arena would be burned to the ground.
100%.
Yeah. It would have to be him wanting it. So it's like,
Yeah, I don't think the Nuggets are the Nuggets without Jokic. Even beforehand, they weren't even really like the Nuggets because of Melo. They were just the Nuggets. You were grateful to have a good player, and then Melo left, and you were like, well, what do we do now? Yeah. I would assume, at least. I'm not a Nuggets fan, but from the few Nuggets fans that I've talked to, that's pretty much the Cliff Notes version.
So what about Fox? Should we talk about De'Aaron Fox?
I know. So I confirmed. I saw a few different things that it says. I mean, you never know with these trade rumors, but it sounds like he wants the Spurs. What do we think of that?
I love it.
I love it and hate it.
Yeah, as someone, I think I said this earlier, as someone in the West, I hate it because that makes them pretty good.
Pretty good?
No, it makes them really good.
It's like giving Fox Sabonis, but on crack.
And they have, like, the Spurs are going to be good, regardless, in a couple years. Like, Vassell and all the, like, that rookie they had, like, yeah, you give them De'Aaron Fox, dude. I'm thinking within 3 years they're either making the Western Conference Finals or leaving it.
What about for this year though? If he goes there, do you think does it make them anything worth being afraid of this year?
Yeah, I mean, they were my dark horse, so
yeah.
They're currently sitting 12th, 3 games behind the Warriors, and they're 16 games behind the first seed. Clearly, they're not making the first seed. But if they were
I didn't say they would be the first seed. I just said they would probably make the playoffs.
I know. They're not. I don't think they're too far out of it, honestly. I think they're only 5 games back, But even that, the West is so packed between like fourth and fourth and 12th that it's like anything could happen at any point.
Are you telling me, do you think Dallas or San Antonio ends with a better record?
Definitely San Antonio. Dallas doesn't seem like they're doing much of anything. Granted, Luka has been out for like a month and a half, but you shouldn't have to lean on your star player as much as they do. Like
Yeah, I agree.
Jokic was out for what, like 2 weeks or something, like a month or so ago, and the Nuggets didn't go undefeated, but they went pretty sure at least 500 while he was gone.
I think we went 3-1.
Even better. Even better.
I mean, like 3 losses, 1 win. Sorry.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, well then disregard that entire statement. But there's levels, you know what I mean?
We also played the Celtics in the Garden. We played the Knicks at New York, and then we played Houston in Houston. So it was like, okay. And then we played like the Wizards or something and beat them. So yeah, but
if Fox goes to the Spurs, I'm thinking of all the teams they immediately could beat or become better than. I honestly, I don't see anyone unbeaten. It's like they make it all the way. I'm like, okay, Golden State, they become better than easily. Kings, obviously, they're better than. I'm looking at the teams ahead of them. Dallas, better, probably, maybe. Suns, I'll let Carl, right?
I think
I
they're
feel like there's
probably
not like a
definitely better than the
crazy,
Suns.
impossible matchup, and then it becomes, is Houston way better than them with Fox and Wemby on the same team? I don't know. It's like their record might not climb a crazy amount, but like when it comes to playoffs, I don't feel like they're an easy out against literally any of those teams except OKC, in my opinion.
yeah, no, I agree.
The only reason I would put the Rockets over the Spurs is because of the veterans that they've got on the Rockets. Because they've got Brooks and they've got Van Vliet and probably a bunch of others that I'm forgetting. Whereas I'm assuming they'd probably trade Chris Paul in that if they were to
I
get
don't know.
De'Aaron Fox.
Maybe.
So, but
I don't know. Yeah.
Only there a year, so probably not.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. What would they have to trade? That is a good point, though. What are they trading away to get him? That would be. It would have to be Barnes, right? It has to be like guys with bigger contracts. Just like the older guys, like Barnes.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
They
But
might give Vassell up, I feel like.
Oh God, yeah. I'm revising my statement, guys. I don't know. They're not climbing as high as I thought. They would make the playoffs for sure, though. I would be with Caleb. Like they would. I think they'd for sure make the playoffs.
I will say though, the Kings are not known for doing smart things. So
No.
They might just be like, yeah, give us a second round pick.
They got Sabonis. All right, that seems pretty smart. Sabonis could have rotted away on the Thunder bench for this entire time. I'm just saying.
That's fair.
They've been lighting the beam for the past 2 years.